GPN wanted to help the industry return to normal as quickly as possible. One project we worked on is setting up an industry insights page as part of our iThrive community for ECPs. When there was so much uncertainty and practices were closing down and we didn't know what we were going to do in our office, it was so helpful to understand what's taking place within the industry. How many practices are open? How many practices are closed down in my area? Where are the trends happening throughout the whole country? So we created a page to help ECPs feel more comfortable with what's going on, as well as to help the suppliers and the manufacturers understand what's going on. Because the more information we all had to make plans for our own companies will help the industry as a whole. So I'm excited to show you the GPN Industry Insight page. Along the left-hand side, there are 5 buttons that you can click. It starts with the number of practices open, because when practices are closed, that goes all the way down through exams, frames, and lenses. So we thought it was really important to look at the whole country as a whole. This week, 83% of practices are open. This is a combination of some practices shut down completely, and some practices just haven't reopened satellite offices. As example, is they consolidated into one location. The change since last week is none. It's been consistent for a week, and we're still down 11% from last year. So this same time last year, 94% of locations were open for annual exams. So about 6% of practices, maybe the doctor went on vacation and they weren't doing any exams that week. And this is an overview of what the stats look like nationally. For most of us, we want to know what's happening in our area. So throughout the 9 census districts, we took a really close look at how many practices were open each week. And you could start seeing that the eastern South area and the mountain states and the western South central states, those 3 regions started to get up above 80% much quicker than some of the other regions. My practice is in New York, which is in the Northeast, so mid-Atlantic and New England states. You can see those areas were really hit the hardest, the longest, where they dipped all the way down to 9% in the beginning of April and are just starting to get up to 70% of practices opening. Week over week, as we've been monitoring the news and monitoring the resurgence of COVID in certain areas, we were seeing the eye care practice trends follow along with those resurgence. Most recently, even though there has been resurgence of COVID in certain areas, we've actually seen the industry hold tight, and we haven't seen a downturn quite yet. We are going to continue to monitor when states start mandating different businesses potentially shut down. We will be able to track what the impact is there. What we've noticed is that the government mandates have had the largest impact on whether practices were open for exams or closed for exams. So in those states where the governors were more strict in shutting down different businesses, we have seen that correlate with the number of eye care practices open. The practices in states that had more free policies were open quicker, and they got back to closer to normal sooner. And we're still looking to understand what the long-term impact of that is.